Whoa, yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. Talking Points platform, TPP TV. Oh, yeah. Unale we pledge, we love and loyalty. To we sweet, sweet mama salute. Now we all come together as one. For tomorrow, now we gon' make salute. Any side where you there, it no matter. The tribe where you be, it no matter. Anything you they do, it no matter. Oh yeah, it no matter. Now we putting up stronger one. Inside Sierra Leone, like a big country, where breeze not a shade. TPP TV, Talking Points platform. Then they give you information about salute. Tune TPP TV.
Yes, family, welcome back to yet another very important program where they can do the Talking Points platform. Today, now the 10th of December 2020, the program where we get now the program where we tie to 2020 end of year assessment of President Mada Bio. We believe, say, as a standard practice, when you give person work, you boss for check and see what you don't do positive, the area the way you need for correct, compliment, rebook, and so on and so forth. Since 1996, President Mada Bio no be get job. Salon people now we decide for get job. And therefore, I feel say we get the responsibility for all are accountable and at the same time again for complimentary and the things we don't do. Because it not just make any sense for let somebody say, since all President Bio kind of power, it not do nothing for some people. Now they na baseless talk now they, sometimes for criticize for the sake of criticism and nonsensical. You for praise when the praise due, and then if you criticize constructively. This na patriotism, because at the end of the day, you want to let the government succeed, you want to make them succeed and deliver. Why? Because I'm not Monday. Then say can make mistake. And some people are where they surround the president, not so they all want for let succeed. Plenty people and they where then just there for their own eating agenda. Therefore, there is always a need for we bring calm both sides. For be a president or even for be a leader in any segment, in any country, I like that small corner is challenging. So therefore, a fine for we bring calm the good thing there way always we feel say a right. So today, we look at different areas then where we feel say according to real analysis, where we give credits to President Mada Bio, the achievement for 2020. One of the things we will start with first, we'll look at the Peace Commission with the sense. We'll look at the SEC achievements. We'll look at the infrastructure and many other things there. As you know, this is not a broad topic. Me want not go able to talk. Therefore, we get some very serious big alleged them where these are faces they already don't know now. We're not part of this network. Very, very, very accurate. And a man the way at the end of the day, when he listen and talk, you go no say yes indeed, then worth it. First, we introduce the station manager when Dr. Alpha. Doc, you can say hi to family when they listen to you.
Yeah, Fambulem una kushe and Kabo, and welcome to Talking Point platform, and welcome to the program Talking Point.
All right, thank you very much. And again, we introduce Director of Communication when Mr. Ibrahim Kamara. Mr. Ibrahim, you can greet Fambule.
Yeah, good evening to we listeners and I will start for welcoming all back for where we they take our time for can listen to we, and I will have to express we profound appreciation for that, and thanks so much for where you get me again today at the studio for come pass some of me on knowledge or idea.
All right, thank you very much, Famule. Let me start first thing first. In any society, the bedrock of development, the first thing first way for think about na peace. Because without peace, there will be no progress in anything. Without peace, there will be no development, there will be no school, there will be no economic activity. And we, as the we can attest to this. Because from 1991, when we get the rebel war, until the term where it officially ends in 202, we know what we go through. So we know the value of peace more than the people that will not taste war it. Therefore, the government of President Mada Bio don't learn the lesson, say this is a very serious thing, and they don't create a commission, a peace commission, for make sure say they monitor the peace and stability of the country. When are the first thing for us we look at. And as you see, them even go along the line for create Bintumani 3, where now inclusive area then where Salon people and all for come together for promote, defend, and support with government. Now, let me look at this bill where they pass now Parliament, where the chief minister be presents to parliamentarians already positively run past this bill or listen to this one big achievement where President Mada Bio don't do for Salon people.
Mr. Speaker, honorable members, I move that the bill entitled the Independent Commission for Peace and National Cohesion Act 2020 be read the second time. Mr. Speaker, please permit me to outline the strategic objectives of this Peace Commission bill and why Sierra Leone needs an independent commission for peace and national cohesion as a permanent infrastructure for peace in post-war Sierra Leone. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, let me simply state that without peace, there will be no development. We all know that peace is a necessary prerequisite for sustainable development. And this is true for every community, every society, every country in the world. Sierra Leone is not an exception. So this self-evident truth, this global truism, is what has motivated the transformation of societies into peaceful, developed, stable, and secure countries. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, you will recall that at the state opening of Parliament in May 2018, His Excellency the President, Brigadier General Retired Dr. Julius Mada Bio, made the case for the establishment of an independent commission for peace and national cohesion. This was followed by the Bintimani 3 National Dialogue Conference in May 2019. agreed on a roadmap for the establishment of the Independent Commission for Peace and National Cohesion. Mr. Speaker, let me take this opportunity to thank you in your capacity as Speaker and all honorable members of Parliament for participating in the Bitumen 3 National Dialogue Conference. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, after 59 years of political independence, 19 years after the end of the brutal and bloody civil war, and 16 years after the end of the Truth and Reconciliation Commission process, this is the first time in the modern history of this country that we've decided as a nation to build a permanent infrastructure for peace that is locally owned by people.
All right, okay. So family, this now one big achievement where President Julius Mada Bio don't do. And we feel say we have a very serious applaud. And we just want to remind we listeners and say, this program is in two phases. The first phase, we try for points the achievement of President Mada Bio. And next week, very often, we come and try for talk about the failures. So me guess them at the turn to now for let help me when we talk about the other things there. Now we don't see a clear example about the developments in terms of creating a peace commission. Yes, Doc Alpha Tawi, what's the other big stride when it comes to the achievement of President Julius Mada Bio, we want let family know today.
Yeah, Mr. CEO, thank you once more for having me, and we can talk about the achievement we President Bio and in government don't do. And before you step in the next phase, I want to say this peace initiative and where the parliamentarian and don't pass and the government put a step in the right direction. I mean the chief minister now a professor in peace studies, so now such things they expect. I mean, we not expecting something like you bring come in a right where you say without peace there will be no development. Indeed, right. And some of they all throughout the brutal civil war in Salon, person like me even unfortunate come na Europe and even come involved also in another war in the middle of Europe and be a victim also. So we know very much the importance of peace. We can only hope as this don't be a step in the right direction, the things them where they foster peace, now the society, the government enable those environments, them things like justice, social justice. We try for eradicate tribalism and marginalization, but this indeed now is step in the right direction. The things that we go able muster, let this be something where we all go embrace nationally and be a lasting legacy for now for avoiding things then they will go disturb the peace. But moving away from that, I think for me, one of the biggest things we President Bio and don't achieve this 2020 or since he come in governance, it get for do with the fight against corruption. I know say a lot of Sierra Leoneans then we get a lot of questions, including me, whether, for example, the Anti-Corruption Commission they work apolitically without any bias to opposition parties or opposition politicians or people that we don't think not belong to part of the government. And we all getting concerns then we hope say the Anti-Corruption Commission and the government as a whole go make a stride for make sure say the people of Sierra Leone get more faith into the fight against corruption at the country, where we all able to embrace and say a national fight. But irrespective and moving away from them fears in the way a lot of we get, there are a lot of good things the Anti-Corruption in particular commission don't achieve. This is not the first Anti-Corruption Commission. We don't gather billions and billions of loans, combined more than other administration of the Anti-Corruption Commission. I mean, that alone, not something for give applause to, because that they should say, yes, the fight against corruption is moving. The commission, they able to retrieve billions of loans where they come back into the consolidation and fund. Right presently, even I think we all know say every year the attorney Auditor General, Mrs. Lara, can release in report and all other things. Even me being get questions like why the anti-corruption, they know the Anti-Corruption Commission, no they check, no they audit all these billions and things so the year say missing. But the anti-corruption get statements where them put na their websites and radio stations and TV stations, them where they show say the Auditor General's report from 2015 to 18. This 2020 year alone, they're able to recover up to 2.7 billion loans of missing funds from cases them where them browse through the Auditor General's report and no say certain anomalies then take place. So that alone, they should say, yes, the fight against corruption, they move if the commission they able pursue cases them and make sure say then they able to retrieve taxpayers' money back from people and we supposed for work for the country, but they act otherwise. I mean, that now one part. Another part also be say the MCC, you understand, score. Salon don't improve with MCC score, you understand. We don't move, and this don't take place now 3 years in a row, you understand. We climb the ladder, you know, in these 3 years, we don't move, I think, up to 32%. You understand, upwards from Usai we be there to Usai we there now with regards to the fight against corruption indicator. So that they should say the fight is moving, corruption they reduce. And even with regards to Institute of Government Reform, where they run the Afrobarometer survey, you understand, then safe come out and show say the prevalence of corruption will be there at an all-time high to about 70%, presently there to 40%. So all this way you look, you know, bodies them, you know, civil society organizations, the point say the fight against corruption is moving into a better direction. We see physical fact, we see cash don't be recovered, we see scores moving up higher, you know. And the Anti-Corruption Commission self, I see then said they try to engage religious leaders, you know, civil society organizations and the likes. We see movements then way then they try for do. We can only hope we the Salon people them try for embrace this as a national fight, because even today, few hours ago, the Anti-Corruption Commissioner showed a very video, if found to be too very, very disheartening, you know, when the commission gets some tip about students the way they cheat now a private was center, but parents and even police don't connive and fight against the anti-corruption workers them, and police will go for escort them for do their job. And that they should say some sector of the society then self not they try for help for law fight corruption. Corruption not mean saying only ministers or parliamentarians them the thief. You be civil society, you work for private institutions. We all in we own corner for try for do we own way for try for fight against corruption. In all, if you want me to rank the score this 2020 over 10, how far the Bio-led government don't do, I will say I will give them somewhere between 5.5 to 6 over 10 score. You know, I for be wish for go higher with, especially where you see all these billions we don't do retrieve, but we all get sad in unanswered questions where we go like for the commission work more hard with regards to like the 1,000 of bags of rice we lost, or let we see big allege them even within this big and this administration where then self don't misbehave, where we see the law bet them well, then we believe say more and more Sierra Leoneans we go believe actively say yes, this is a national fight. But all in all, as I say, the fight against corruption so far has been successful, and we can only hope the government do more for ensure and assure with the Sierra Leoneans then say this not to a political motivated fight only where they disturb opposition people then.
Okay, thank you very much, Doc. Yes, we come to Mr. Ibrahim. Mr. Ibrahim, What's now your own take? What's now the thing that when you feel say the president don't achieve that's 2020 because this not the year of delivery?
Well, Una Dom highlights two very important ones and we are not go deep into that much anymore. And we're then really, really important and relevant anyway. Because peace, like we the chief minister in statement where you just broadcast. Now in the backbone for any, for example, economy itself or like grow because it create that certainty, and that certainty good for business and investors and all of that stuff. So for the fact say they don't make progress in that area, it means they don't get assurance to people them for kind of the country, for can do business, for do business with the government, and of course, even as much as we don't see much it, but that security, that statement where you don't get that guarantee to people and say, yeah, na a safe place for come and do business. I really say that's a very good one. Corruption, they don't make a very good, progress in them. We'll not go details into it. Regardless to how you look at them, you look at the anti-corruption commission in work, you look at the commission of inquiry, regardless of how you look at them, because the anti-corruption, I was say the commission of inquiry then being set them up for look into the activity of past government officials and how corrupt them in they. But unfortunately, we don't kind of politicize them in the sense the way how we Sierra Leonean people they look at and how the corrupt politicians and self they use them political parties them for hide under, and then they deceive people them for kind of then defense and help them. We don't see like the incident because one of the key one like the honest by Kuma saga, they not tell and say or there's no verdict against and say guilty or guilty anyway. They then get intel or information them about one or two things and when think say you go don't do way it wrong, and then decide say okay, with the interview you just come with some facts and look at we fact right, then we go make a decision from that point there whether we indict you or not. I feel say that been look simple and straightforward. No case some other people themselves they're not even getting that opportunity now some other parts of the world for say we even interview you. Then you they go straight and indict you straight and charge you to court, then now you go defend yourself. So that fight, regardless of whatever way they don't do and whether clean or fair, but the effort alone, now a very, very good precedent for Sierra Leone, because it just they remind the present people then we in a government position and say, go do it forever, you self get for come and you get forget that 10-day way, then get for call you for let you can get accounts for how you been running your time. Now them places in there. So you don't do and the president in flagship program in our education, we know we will talk now, we ignore regardless to how other people then we interpret it. But even if now 1,000 people then be pay, whether the education be get quality or not, but it be the take cost on parents then. But for the fact say okay, no, we take care of that, and then we could pay fees and the same time we pay salaries and they don't book out small incentives and for teachers them, small salary increments and they supply them and they work whether they get quality or not, but get for spend nothing. And I feel say that we get for commend them for that and they say a very good thing. And the fact say they able make and say now compulsory, say everybody now like you're right and then they force you for be educated. Now a very good example because now the kind of things and we get now like now the UK anyway, because as long as you live within that age to basic education level, now compulsory you for get education. The reason for that is plenty. Education not only the key to success, let people not try for misunderstanding, but you need to get the basic because how you will deal with text message they will text you from even your GP, like your doctor, how you be able to travel. If you not get the basic education, I mean, you go on a metro, how you be able to get your direction there, if you travel international, how you able reach now, you know, now you don't transit for able know say okay now the platform this one for exchange. For go now this gate here for go catch me flights. You know, if you get lost, you may so like that again. I feel say now a very good improvement where they don't do.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Kamara. Family, Mr. Fwan Church small about the school, the education. You know, the presidents don't do a fantastic job. And now one of the area where history go Georgia, because now the first time this, as far as we knowledge concerned, for the government allocate 20% of the national budget. Last year, now 20% the budget. And this year, now 22%, which is like now historical. And of course, yes, now it starts from the beginning. You get challenges. People and they talk about the other side. But for the fact that it reached that point there, it's fantastic. And you not just stop there. Look at what happened. During this short time, the president approved 2 universities. 2 universities there. One where he just recently approved now Milty Magai College of Education. Before Milty Magai, now IAMTech. You know, for me personally, this is personal because some of we church at the institution indeed. Salon, we so wicked to ourselves, we get so bad that anything when indigenous something, we're not the one ever. Salon people, anything when foreign, you understand, and they pay more attention to that. What are the time for talk? The IAMTech institution, now one of the most outstanding private institution. But the level of understanding at Salon is so slow, it's so small, it's so short-sighted in the sense that anything where Salomon team up for begin part, say this is for B, other people in the city say not to better team. And education, it can for be diversified. Even in America, Europe, there are private institutions there, as well as government institutions there. And Fobe College was one of the only institutions at Freetown when a university, you know, because when you take IPAM, you take commerce, they're all like, they're under the University of Sierra Leone, you understand? Where if you not go there, if you are like, you know, look, you know, it is not the reason when they even come with this issue of Lincoln University where they create problems because people they look for alternative. But this president where he come, he look at the tarmac of IAMTech University. He look at the branches that are open. Gona Bo, Gona Losa, Gona Kenema, Gona Potloko, all of them branches and they do extremely well. But yet the successive governments they ignore all the developments because people are not pay attention. They feel say now one area no more than for land. And if you watch, Salon are one of the first countries in the entire sub-Saharan Africa we get university 1827. Now remember forget 3 university, 4 university. It's shameful. So for the fact that the president come, it creates this opportunity for let give chance to other people for choice, for let people go outside the angle. Now a big step. Now let's watch small thing about the IAMTech University, and we'll come to the Milty Magai University itself.
A total of 777 students of the Institute of Advanced Management and Technology, IAMTech, an affiliate to Njala University, has on Saturday, 20th April 2019, received their degree and diplomas in various areas of study. The graduation ceremony that took place at the college campus in Kisidokiad in Freetown attract prominent personalities, especially senior officials from other sisters college and universities.
All right. So, family, these are some of the things they will for comment. I am technically affiliate university to Jala University, now a university on its own. The first private university in Africa. That's not one. And not tap there. The president go further. And look at one institution where we don't do probably more than even if you look at the quality what they don't produce, when I'm Milty Magai College of Education and Technology, when I'm from 1960, can you imagine? This institution don't do so much. They don't help a lot of people around the world. They don't help a lot of Sierra Leoneans there for awarding the status of university when they get all facility. So succeed governments and are not able to do anything about that. Now watch out this institution where the government don't approve for it become a university on its own, a technical university.
Magai College of Education and Technology, MMCT, now one tertiary education institution we don't give book learning to plenty people then since November 1963, where the Governor General that day when I been Sir and Elight with boasting, be opened the domots na the college to the first set of students there, right before the founding father of the nation, Sir Milton Augustus Magai. The college been start as a teacher training department na Frabe College before it transformed to college on its own. But from that day, Boku people been done they get different land book paper than like certificate, diploma, higher national diploma, another one day. So
all right, family. So this now we're not going to play all the end part of this. We are just for let people and see the progress whether institution we don't do. So not just Gideon just because they want for Gideon. Miltimaga from 1963, where like he overgrown self, you know, he overgrown for like being university on its own. I mean, it's all the criteria, they get free land, they get space, and get campuses, everything, and they produce quality. So we want to commend the president. We tell them plenty thank you for way focus on education. All right. Now we move to another area where we could say maybe we panelists and go on church. Yes, me panelists if I get anything for Rob on this side, the floor open.
Okay.
Well, I would say they don't try a little bit on health. Though that's not a very controversial one, because if you look, even the Minister of Health, Professor Alpha Uri and all, Binongo do presentation and all, they try for cajole the finance ministry for let we able meet the Millennium Development Goal, at least 15% of national budget to health. We still lay somewhere around 11, although the bio-led government take I think from 9. So at least that 2% increment they say na something. You understand? Although if you go out and ask doctors and other healthcare workers out there are a lot of challenges with regards to say even salaries and salaries on time or good working conditions. You know, people still they find them difficult, if not for love for work for the government. But however, because here we get to understand one thing: Rome was not built in a day. There is no success here where we can come and talk with now 100% clear or even 90%. There are a lot of challenges and hurdles the way the government and every other successive government get for need for clear. The same way so we get for talk about say the failures them. There is no way some amount of success no interact with that. So in terms of the health here, we see recently the president, I mean them try for modernize and reconstruct the psychiatric hospital na Kisiwe. I mean it's shameful. As a nation, now that one we get for many years now. Only Dr. Naim we get, although I think we don't get 1 or 2 and train few mental health nurses them. So that alone, you know, the place don't look more modernized and clean and neat and no work get. So that now one we see also the government not only other sectors of education but even medical education then try for at least do something. We see inside the president go turn the sword na Kenema for an ultra modern midwifery school. You understand? I mean, previous government them be don't try. We get the one na Freetown and McKinney, but the government now don't try for law get one na the east. Where that a good for we will body one moving forward, a good for education moving forward. And we see also outside the president, the first lady, they all been done pledge for now we get this ultra modern state of the art cancer and research center. We can only hope them pledge here it become true Also, and just lastly, they also been saying, I think, up to 43 nurses and midwife them for Ghana. We go study in Ghana and they return somewhere, I think February or March. We a very good, I mean, 43 people go get knowledge, nurses and midwife and come back into the workforce. They all get, I think most, I don't want to talk for the government, get PIN code and all, come back into the system and can serve people them for improve the healthcare na the country. I believe say it's good. These are something then we then do a good na the health sector. We hope they increase the budget. We hope healthcare workers are being treated as a priority in that country. And medical education we try to expand them. It's high time we get other medical university in the other regions, or at least we stretch out commerce. Let commerce go. If in a commerce we get below, we able to stretch out and find ways and means for people for teach and man those places, because it's not only about can build hospital, can build structure. You can forget people them we get for can teach and lecture. And honestly, Salon we lack medical personnel, they will lack doctors and other things. So it's high time the government think how to do those things.
Thank you very much. Yes, Mr. Kamara, you got anything for add?
Well, way to go add. We see the impact we COVID don't get, the global impact we get. So like, regardless of how you look at them, if not magic and commitment, they're able to pay salaries and they're able to run the government itself with all the constraints there. So you're able to say, yes, they don't do well in that sector. Because think about sectors and like the tourism and the hospitality sector were badly affected with the COVID-19. In the sense, we know they get too much investors the way they can. The hotels are empty, the restaurants are not the kind of boom because you would expect more people than for travel can at the country, but they know they can right now. So therefore, don't they generate or they bring some more income to the government, in other ways and the taxes and this and that way for the increase them revenue. So that badly affected even like the seaport. If you look at a kind of business and offload too much. So even revenue collection at that sector, they definitely it would drop. They're able to cope. You look the airports, virtually being closed for a very long time, and even way they don't try for reopen and not to all airlines then don't open. That's a very big loss. Like landing fee we then be paid to government when have been such revenue they wouldn't be get so government lost all their revenue, but yet they're able to stand their ground, they're able to meet some commitment to the government and pay salaries, they even make increments in other sectors and they increase the minimum wage. The president recently make statements say even like paramount chief them it will begin put them on salaries so it make some huge progress at the inside in the because some country then they more like Salon, for example, if the sectors they also for the get all them revenues and they affected, government for don't get constraints with some running costs, with some operational costs them way you for don't see the government for not for the function the way for function. But at least they're able to maintain and they're able to function still as an effective government and never say okay with the lock or the close schools and because we know they get revenue in other sectors there or we know we will pay salaries, they don't able to meet them commitment. And so I can able to say I recommend it again for Dandy.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Kamara. So basically, family, and so we go try for round of the program. And today, as we write to now, and as we make them very clear, we exclusively focus on the achievements of President Julius Mada Bio 2020. And we acknowledge, yes, indeed, there are things where at least Salon people are for proud of her. Starting from the Peace Commission, where they just don't pass as an act in Parliament. We're talking about the health sector, even though there are serious challenges, but at least they self make their own fights, And we look at the education, when are the flagship program of the president, where they put serious attention on. We see the latest way up in terms of electricity, like Kenema, the president go turn sort of like commission their own power station and other very, very important things, and we will not able to name here all because of time, but we just select some of their offices extremely important. So we go come next week for talk about the failures or challenges what we feel say the president in governments don't face. It's imbalance. Let not be say we can't praise the government. This platform not to a platform where they cancel out. They are exclusively for Salon people, for the interest Salon people, for the interest of Salon people, and anything what they do here, now Salon they put force. So if we talk now for Salon, we criticize them for Salon. So I return to you now, Mr. Ibrahim. What's going to be your last word to family?
Well, for my last word to family, now like government na continuity and na patience. Sometimes probably the government get a lot na them plans them, way they're not able to execute because of this big pandemic will affect the whole world. I know we try for defend them, but most and big countries in the world, the UK, America, China, we get the biggest and largest economy that they're all affected anyway. So if you look generally, the world in economy itself, it is in recession. There has never been at any point this particular 2020 where we don't get any economic expansion at any country anyway. In terms of like you look the economic indicators and GDP, inflation, so it not happen any side. So I let you defend them, but I would just say we're not gonna blame them, So if they don't make much strides, they then get a blanket, excuse we go cover and say, well, COVID been there. We're not the only country. Even the UK they're in recession, America they're in recession. So although we patience, let we see, now the vaccine they don't approve in other countries like the UK, and now Canada said don't approve. UK don't start. Probably, now the spring, things then will be normal all over the world. Then we go look at them again and see, how serious then they, for deliver on some of the agendas they get at the manifesto and then promises them. So now the word we may go just add to review as well.
Okay, thank you very much. Yes, yes, Alpha.
Yeah, for me, I go say now first to the government, I want to say let them continue then fight against corruption and make sure say a national fight, not to a politically biased one, or not to one way they only fight against the weak and allow the mighty for go scot-free. There should be no sacred cow. We don't see the billions of loans that we anti-corruption commission that we cover. We're happy about that. We hope then go continue no sacred cow. Past administration, present administration, private entity, civil servants, government officials, we not care. Anywhere we and corruption day, let the interest day, let the lead follow day and recover taxpayers' money. So me people of Sierra Leone, I can only say we all get role for play against corruption, where we try as best as possible or not partake in any bribe and any other things where we know say they hinder the country in development one, because corruption now a cancer and a stumbling block to any country in development one. So let we all see them as a national fight. Let we all see them as a personal fight, because we all want less alone better. We all want to become prosperous for we and we begin in the future generations that we get for come. And that's where we all try for come together, work together, and we challenge this thing called corruption.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Alpha, and thank you very much, Dr. Mr. Ibrahim. Wait, you see, Brian, you never come, doctor. You see, I don't
no. Well, let you man go for the PhD.
Okay. Dr. Ibrahim, I will come to call Dr. Ibrahim.
You man go for the PhD now.
Okay, family, that's how we come to the end of this program. So now plenty, thank you. We get a very interesting program if you just join me. My name is Mohamed Kagbo. We will discuss about the achievement of President Mada Bio 2020. And next week, very hopeful, we go counting failures. Until then, una goodbye, and I wish you a happy weekend in advance.